Welcome to Tammy Nation. Let's go.
From 9 to 5, been biting my tongue for all this time. Won't let anyone cut me short. I was thinking this was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, I'll be no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud.
Hey everybody, how are you doing this Monday evening? I decided to just do a quick little pop on here after work this evening to see how everybody's Monday went and to see how everybody's feeling about what's going to be happening tomorrow. And if you guys have been keeping up on all the different videos and people that are out there in New York City regarding what's going on with Trump, if you got to see him fly out there on his Trump Force One, and see if you had a good Monday. My Monday started out kind of crazy this morning, but it got pretty well. It got accomplished. I got a lot done. I did a few little shorts. I find I have a lot of fun doing those shorts, you guys. As you know, I like to work out. I am an fitness instructor as well. But hey, Sharon Mercier, good to see you. Yeah, it's all ridiculous, right? We'll get into that and stuff for sure. But, it's been a really good day. And, you have to have, like I said, a little positivity in life with everything that's going on these days and all the craziness that's going on in New York City. Don't forget that Marjorie Taylor Greene is out there. Actually, they're going to have a rally for Trump tomorrow. Whether you like them or not, you guys, like I said, it's good to pay attention to what's going on, whether you think it's what's going to happen to him, anything or not. Hey, Rokabit Jay, I'm glad you love the shorts. I have a good time doing those. Anyhow, we don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, people have assumptions and all that. But, I do have a lot of questions because all this that they're going against Trump with is, against Stormy Daniels with all that happened with her and the hush money and stuff. You guys, that was years and years ago. And what's amazing to me is we can't forget that Mr. Billy Clinton paid Paula Jones $800,000 in hush money. And I don't see any indictments going on after him. Do you? Did I miss something? Because I guess apparently I did. But, Trump wasn't the first one to do it. And like I said, that was a long time ago. Settled, has nothing to do with what's going on now. Basically, I think it's just a witch hunt, like he says, to go after him. They don't want him to run. But, it's going to backfire. He's going to run. And I think this is just going to make him more popular. And the fact that, people want fairness. People want equality. People don't want this one-sided witch hunt going on against anybody. We want it to be fair. So if you're going to hold Trump accountable for something like this, what about Mr. Billy Clinton? I think he should be held accountable, and everybody else. And let's not forget something else, you guys. Donald Trump Jr. came out today and said, and I'm going to give a little quote off something that he posted. He said, not a single person that visited Epstein Island was indicted other than G. Maxwell, who seems to be serving a 25-year sentence for trafficking minors to no one. What about all the people that were on that list, the flight logs and everything else? And she's the only one so far that is serving any time. Why aren't they spending money, time, and effort, energy going off after people who harmed children, who harmed teenagers on this island? We know that a lot went on there. G. Maxwell came out and was talking about a bunch of things. So my thing is, they're going after Mr. T. They're going to indict him over some of these silly things that have happened in the past long ago that have nothing to do with the current situation and how he ran this country for the 4 years as he was president. I just think that that's worth paying attention to, you guys, whether you agree with this or not, whether you like Mr. T or not, no matter whose side you're on, you guys. This is just very lopsided, one-sided. It's just insanity to me, and I'll be paying attention to it tomorrow for sure. And don't forget all this different stuff that's going on. I said a little bit earlier today in my broadcast that, what about Hunter stuff? I mean, these are a lot more serious things. Obviously, do I have to agree with what Mr. T did with Stormy and Payne? Do I? No, I'm not saying that I agree with that. But the thing is, Hunter has been proven on video and laptop what he did with younger people, younger women, and took advantage. Hey, Mr. B, how are you tonight? Mr. Bill Clinton also did the same thing supposedly Trump did, but nobody's talking about that. So I'm just saying, from here forward, when we're going to equal this out, when is it ever going to be fair and justified? You can't get burnt out, and you can't get bored forever, and you can't say it's just about Mr. T or just about Biden. This goes way deeper. You guys know that, and you just have to pay attention, I feel, and to make change, you have to be the change. And like I said earlier, if you need a break, take a break. But really, this is just disturbing. They're coming after Mr. T like this. There's a lot of people out there already gathered in support of him. If you guys watch Penguin 6, P6, he's out there already. He was outside of Trump Tower. He was waiting for Trump's arrival. Then he had to move because there were so many people around there. But, when people support somebody like that, that's pretty amazing. If you ask me, they support Mr. T. I don't see that many people supporting Mr. Biden. Okay. He is supposedly the active president. Look at the shape of this country is in. And yet there are some that are finger pointing saying, Mr. T needs to pay for this. We're going to do this to Mr. T. And the thing is, this sets a precedent. This is why it's a big deal. It sets a precedent for the previous presidents and the things that they did. They can go back. When is it ever going to end? It is a very slippery slope. It's something that I feel that shouldn't be done, shouldn't be approached. We have bigger fish to fry, and that includes taking care of these loony, crazy people who are going after the children. I said earlier, grooming the children, this Epstein Island stuff. This shouldn't be pushed aside. This, to me, that's a way bigger deal than what is happening with Mr. T and the Stormy Daniels thing that was settled a long time ago. Like I said, if it can be settled with Mr. Billy Clinton, then it should be settled with Mr. T as well. Rokabot J, yep, that's because T scares them. Okay, here's D-Dog in here starting some trouble. What does a burnt pizza, frozen beer, and a pregnant woman have in common? D-Dog, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. All right, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. So if Sassy Pants, Mr. D-Dog wants to join me, he can. Or if Mr. B wants to pop on up, or Rokabit J, you guys can come on and pop on up, grab the link, and I'll let you in, and we can have a quick little chit chat here. But yeah, so if you guys follow Penguin 6, you guys, he's out there. And, I've followed him for a long time before he was big or had this big, huge following. And I really liked the way that he would send people on tours around DC and stuff. And, he didn't have one side or the other. He just gave us tours and showed us what's going on and, the different motorcades and stuff like that. And I really appreciated that with him. And now here he is out in New York City. And he was saying that, he's in New York City because DC's boring. He said DC's been boring. And if you guys follow Nancy Drew, she was saying the same thing, that it's empty and it's boring there. Make what you will of that. But I think that these people who cover it live and have these live videos, you can see for yourself in real time what's going on or what's not going on. You can go ahead and make your own decisions about that and come to your own conclusions. But it's pretty cool that they can show you in real time if somebody's there or not. It's not like they can make it up, right? So you can see if there's a motorcade and what it looks like. You can see if it's busy at the Capitol building. You can see if there's somebody standing guard at the White House or not at the White House. You can see if these fences are going up or fences are going down in real time. So I think that's pretty admirable that these people spend their time, effort, and energy to show us that. Whether you believe in it or not, you're seeing it, right? So Lone Wolf, it is good to see you too. P6 is awesome, and he usually keeps unbiased, which is so rare. Exactly. And it's funny, Lone Wolf, with P6 and all his videos. I look forward to seeing what he's having for lunch. The simplest of things in life. It cracks me up when, is he going to have the burger today? Is he going to have a hot dog? When he went overseas, I watched some of those videos too. And I really like that unbiased reporting. That's what journalism used to be. It's what journalism should be. I mean, we can all have our opinions and stuff, of course, but we should have the facts and we should have it in real time. What happens anymore with so-called journalists is, they can take part of a story and run with it. They don't have to test their sources, or they don't have to have credentials with the sources, because these news companies and agencies really don't care, I think, about the truth anymore. All they care about is, their ratings and their numbers. When I was in broadcasting years ago, and the news people in my area in Michigan and Detroit, where D-Dog is actually at, so a lot of those are my friends, and those people that are news anchors and stuff. Some have retired, but you had to get sources when you were in the field reporting. You had to, before they would put it on air, they do your story, you have to get checks and validity checks. You couldn't just make something up, print it up, and send it to print and put it in the paper. Who did that back in the day? It was the rag magazines that we call them, like Star Magazine, the National Enquirer, and things like that. And really anymore, that's what the media has become, our rag magazines, so to speak, with video and stuff. Journalists now really are told what to say, how to say it. They have a script that they read by. They have different things that they're allowed to say, and some that they aren't. So therein you get a biased opinion depending on where you're watching and who you're watching. And journalism was never meant to be that way. Back in the day, like the Walter Cronkite days and stuff, do you guys remember? These reporters used to go across the country and across the world and do field journalism, and it was dangerous. And they risked their lives sometimes covering different battles that are going on, different kinds of cultural differences people were having. And it was really cool because you never knew what was going to happen. It was spontaneous. I don't think it was as jaded and one-sided as it is now. And the only thing that I think is saving us now are the people that have, video cameras or, their cell phones, and they're getting live footage from wherever they're at. And granted, a lot of people tweak things and, only show partial things. You have to really pay attention to who you watch and what you absorb. And some things that may seem real could not be real with CGI and all that. But the thing is, those field reporters back in the day, that's what made journalists want to become journalists, were those people that would hit the pavement across the country. They would travel with the military and do live on-ground reporting. That was amazing. And we've just sunken so far low that we are rag journalism anymore. But like I said, P6 has done a fabulous job, I think, of reporting and showing things. Monkey Works as well. Monkey Works going in the air and at sea, the different things that he shows. So there are some people out there that are, credible, let's just say, and they aren't trying to share one side at all. Yep, it's Rokabit J says it's all in who writes the checks and what is pushed. Absolutely 100% true. That is how it is. It never used to be that way before. I'm telling you, you guys, you had to do your homework. You couldn't get out there and just report anything and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And people do that now. Let's get back to chat here. D-Dog, you did not give the answer to your joke. And Mr. B is asking, what is the answer to that joke? You didn't give the answer. Mr. B says, mainstream gets to spew opinion on everything, but we get censored for giving our opinions. Mr. B, not only do we get censored for our opinions, if we say the wrong word, we get taken down, right? I've had to take so many of my different shows down because of the content. And remember the one time I did it with the short people or small people video of the bowling. I mean, I got flagged for that, like before I even was off the air. It's like as soon as I got off the air, I got flagged for that. and taken down or in trouble for it, or fined, or whatever you want to call it. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I'm looking forward to the day that we all can just say what we want to say, cover what we want to cover. I mean, even now, if you're showing real stuff, if you have facts that you're showing with the printout of it from somebody, if whoever it is in charge of the censoring here doesn't agree with it, they take you down or they wipe you out. I mean, how ridiculous is it these days that you have to make a bunch of different channels just in case you get taken down? So I'm hoping this will all come to an end soon and we don't have to worry about that anymore. And we can just go back to finding out facts and telling the truth the way it is, and having opinions and having great discussions without having to, talk around all these different objects and items all the time, because it's getting ridiculous. When you're out there and you see that these transgender people get to go out there and because they feel a certain way and they expect us to call them a certain he, she, way, them, and these big companies are allowed to use them because it's their right to use them as their spokespersons for different things, but we aren't allowed to have our opinion. That's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it makes no sense to me. It shouldn't make a sense to a lot of people. I really do feel like we are living in a clown world. I've said it before, and sometimes you just got to laugh because it gets to be so ridiculous. Like I said, so I know that also Rudy Giuliani had a show on tonight. He was talking about what is next and what could happen possibly with this. I have heard rumors. It is just rumors that they're going to do the whole mugshot and they're going to fingerprint Mr. T and all that kind of stuff. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But whatever it is, I know that he has it under control. He's got all his people with him. I think Dan is there, Scavino, that has been his, confidant since Scavino was a caddy in his golf course years and years ago. I always say that everybody needs a Scavino in their life, a Dan Scavino, because he's had that man's back from the get-go. He's never strayed from him. He's never sold him out. If we all could just have just one good friend like that always had our back, no matter what, that'd be great. Too many people sell out. Too many people let ego get in the way. Too many people get jealous or feel competitive. And Scavino, I have to give him credit, you guys. I think it's pretty amazing how he stood by that man's side, and DJT is able to trust him. Because if you look at when he was in administration and all the stuff that he's gone through, yeah, he's made mistakes. Yeah, he's not 100% perfect. None of us are, but Scavino stood by him and he's been able to trust him. And I think that man is very admirable. I've said that all along. When you have somebody that's got your back, that's strong like that, that can be your confidant, that just gives you more strength when you feel weak, because everybody gets weak eventually. So if you can rely on somebody, obviously God, but if you can rely on somebody like that, that's pretty dang amazing to me. Hey, Professor Falcon, it is a quickie. It is a quickie. Rokabit J said, wish he would have been in T's ear more during his 4 years. Yeah, we don't know, Rokabit J. Maybe he did. You have to remember, I think that it's pretty amazing that Mr. T came from where he came from and became a president, first of all, because people were so sick of what was going on with the politicians or the lifers or whatever you want to call them. And then he comes in along and, like I said, like him or not, he does rub people the wrong way because he doesn't come in the pretty package. People are used to people coming in, presidents being, presidential and coming in a pretty package, saying what you want to hear, but never doing anything. I would rather have him be harsh like he is and just speak the truth and have the country be respected like it has across the world. We were respected then. I don't have to be talked to in that poetic, sweet way, just like past presidents have done, because they just, look at what we found out, what has happened with the Bushes and the Clintons, and look at Biden. I don't think he's a great representation of a president, you guys. I mean, come on, the man, the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he has to be directed around. It's disturbing to me that anybody can take that seriously. And even though you say, well, you know what, Tammy, he's really not driving the bus. He may not be driving the bus, but technically he's the one that's in there. technically he's the one. So if we elect somebody as a president, but the president that we elect, supposedly elect, is not driving the bus, then what's the point of even having a president? He's the one that's supposed to be calling the shots. I mean, obviously you have advisors, you have administrations, but that guy can't do anything but talk about vanilla or now chocolate chip ice cream. It's absolutely ridiculous to me. So I think tomorrow, when this comes to fruition with Mr. T, I can't wait to see what he has to say. He's going to make comments. I don't know if any of you guys saw what time it is that Mr. T is talking. But I'm probably going to come on and talk about it if you guys want to join me. I think that it's going to put a lot of different things in motion, that this is unprecedented. This has not happened before. And like I said, whether you like him or not, or agree with him or not, this is just wrong what is happening to him. And it sets a precedent, and it's a bad one that it's setting. It seems like with this administration, I beg anybody to say what's something good that this administration has put forth or done good for this country. If you could give me 3 things, that'd be pretty amazing, but I don't think you can. All right, Mr. B, smarty. It's not a quickie. A quickie is 15 minutes and a few kind words. Well, I thought it was going to be a quickie, and then I invited people up here, but nobody wants to come up. So he's going to go around live around 8 p.m. if I heard right today. Yeah, I got to check into that again too. I think Mr. T made bad choices, trusted too much the people he had around him. Rokabit J, that's very possible. But you got to stop and think about this. And I've experienced this. When you have a bunch of people around you and you're close to them and you work with them day in and day out, hour after hour, month after month, it's really astonishing how evil and twisted and manipulating people can be. They can act one way and then flip that mask off and they're another way. I can't even imagine what that man has gone through. And you're right, he did trust people, but what position did he have? I mean, if you have an administration and you have all these people around you, don't you have to trust them a little bit? Because if you don't, can he just go around firing everybody and getting rid of everybody? Then the public's going to say, wow, look at this guy. He's a dictator. They've already said that about him. Look at, he's getting rid of everybody. They've already actually ever said that about him when he was appointing all these judges and stuff, or he was, forgiving people and giving that, I forget what it's called. But anyways, they were already critiquing him for that. They were critiquing him for every single thing that he's done. Don't forget, they put him through all these tests. They had all these questions for him all the time. That press, when he walked out of the White House or off of, Air Force One or the chopper, the press was there constantly asking him questions over and over again. They were just micromanaging everything that he said and did, how he walked. Is he sick? Is he not sick? Does he have mental faculties? Is he up to par? But why are they letting it go with Mr. B, with Biden? He can't do any of that. He doesn't answer any questions. All these major things that have been going on in this world, and he gets off scot-free. They ask him, the reporters ask him questions, and he does this. He turns and he walks away. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, he walks the wrong way. They have to turn him around and say, hey, no, Mr. President, go this way. So I get what you're saying. He did trust maybe the wrong people, but look at how many people came out that were not who they said they were. Look at how many people got exposed for being rhinos or riding the fence or just wanting to get reelected. I mean, it's pretty nasty out there. You think it's nasty where you work or nasty with the people that are around you. Imagine being him. It's incredible to me. Obama's driving from the back of the bus. You know what? I'm not going to deny that I disagree with that, Mr. Falcon, at all. 8 o'clock, Cindy, nothing wrong with a quickie. All right, so there's some lady input there. I appreciate that, Cindy. So it is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mr. T's going on. So I will be watching that. I will be taking notes, and then I'll probably pop on after that so we can have a discussion about it, see what we thought, see what we make of it and stuff. But in the meantime, like I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with people gathering there. There's a lot of videos coming out of all the different people set up there just waiting for his arrival. I don't know if you guys have seen his arrival in New York or not, but I haven't seen it yet. Like I said, I just got home from work, decided to pop on and see what was shaking as far as all this going on. And I thought I'd come on and say hi to you guys today at the end of this, in the eve of what's going to transpire tomorrow. Because, I'll tell you what, you guys, seriously, I'll say it every time. I'll say it until somebody else does it. I have never seen somebody that's a representative of that is a leader and of this country fight for this country like he has, verbally, action-wise. I don't see any other presidents or people that want to run or people that are representatives traveling this country, doing all these rallies, doing all these motivational gatherings of people. I don't see anybody bringing together people like he has. There are small groups of people that are making their best effort to do that. And now I can't go because now D-Dog's popping in the back door. It's like what you do on Shane's when somebody's getting ready to go. He pops on so we can go another 20 minutes, D-Dog. Hey, Harvest Mary Moon, good to see you. What's up, D-Dog? What's shaking in Michigan?
Some more school boards, but besides that, I don't know.
No. Rokabit J, of course we've seen it, and yes, it's because it falls on him. They already had opinions. So what if someone calls you names? He wasn't in high school. He was president, in my opinion. Yeah, true. Oh, LOL, good man. Look at Lone Wolf is encouraging this late appearance, this late arrival, D-Dog. Is Lone Wolf a friend of yours?
I don't know.
D-Dog, since you're here, I'm going to change the subject real quickly for a minute. I was going to say, I plan on stopping up and visiting my mom in Michigan later on in the late summer, early summer, late summer. And I'm going to visit you too. And I think we should do a broadcast. We can meet at an undisclosed location, so I don't disclose your location. But we need to meet and we need to do a broadcast. And I'm putting you on the spot here in front of everybody. Are we good with that? Watch you guys. Are we good with that?
I don't know. How about D-Dog's Garden?
Okay, well, let's do that. Yes, that'll be perfect because I saw that you garden and I had no idea. And you said that you can. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's not just a Constitution type guy. You are a multitasker. You have many different personalities, and I can relate to that.
Yeah, and it's usually 2 or 3 of them are arguing at once.
That happens sometimes. I can relate to that too. I'm kind of all over the place. Today, earlier I was on and then I went to work and I'm like doing all this workout stuff. And then I come here and I'm back onto this. So, I think that I said to my friend this afternoon that variety is the spice of life, that people think that because you do one thing, that's all you can do. Tammy, just don't park on his property. It will cost you plenty. I just don't want to get taken out in my home state. I don't want it to be the time that D-Dog ends up in cuffs or something and then they take Blondie with him. Thank you. I have plenty of people. What?
I won't end up in cuffs.
Okay, you'll say take her because she doesn't know her rights. Will you protect me?
Well,
yes?
They'll realize real quick as the gates close that they're not welcome.
Okay. Well, make sure that I'm behind the gates too, mister. Make sure I'm there. But wouldn't that be an adventure, guys? Don't you want to see it? I'm going to go to Michigan and then I'll hunt D-Dog down and he'll either ignore me or he won't. We'll see. We'll find out. But maybe I can find out from somebody if he doesn't tell me where he's at, that I can find out. I'll ask Arthur Penhallow.
I don't even know if he knows where I live.
Oh, are you serious?
Yep.
Oh, crap. All right. So name some other names of people that I know that I can ask, hey, do you know where D-Dog is?
No.
See?
Nope, I'm good.
See, Harvest Mary Moon says that is a good idea. You know, adventure is also the spice of life, you guys. And you have to remember, I was born and raised in Michigan, so I know where a lot of things are at there. I can do some research and try to find the D dog. I don't think it'll be that hard. I'll just call in some favors. Does that make you comfortable?
I'm good.
I'm not getting a yes, Tammy. That would be fine. All right, you can at least show me your garden. Is your garden off premises of where you're at now?
No, I expanded my garden to 60 foot by 120 foot. And if people want to understand how big that is, it's the size of a city lot.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're out there hoofing it yourself? Is that how you stay in shape?
Well,
You got
I get
muscles. I've
get
seen you.
plenty
You've
of
got muscles.
I get
What?
plenty of exercise pushing my luck. So
You do that. You do that in a very good way, D-Dog. I have to admit that. Harvest Mary Moon said her gardens are big too. That's pretty cool. I haven't done one down here. I think what I'm going to do is do planters and pots in the backyard. And I know that seems very city-ish, but the thing is we have so many deer and wild animals around here that, you know, climb over everything and stuff. So I think it'll be just easier for me to do the pots and then cover up over the pots versus doing a whole big thing, but we'll see. We have a bunch of trees that we're waiting to get taken down because where I'm at, tons of pine trees and some of them are dead. So we have to make space. We're going to get them taken out and that'll give me more space to be able to do it too and just line a bunch of pots up. I don't need a whole bunch. I don't can or anything. And that's what I found funny and amazing. I am embarrassed to say I've never canned a day in my life. And I'm like, dang, if D-Doc can, I need to learn to can. You're like talking about peppers or something. What was it you were talking about on Shane's channel the other night? I popped in for a few minutes while I was getting something done and I heard you and I'm like, what? You were eating them. Beets, pickled beets. That's what it was. I'm like, that is disgusting. I do not like, no way in high water am I going to deal with pickled beets. You said, oh, but they're good. And they add a little cinnamon. Did you say cinnamon?
yeah, well, cinnamon and beetroot is one of the best ways to reduce your blood pressure.
Well, then, yeah. Well, that's good. I'll plug my nose and eat them because I can't do pickled anything either.
Well, there's plenty of other, herbs and weeds and everything else you can use for blood pressure too.
Yeah. Are you saying you have high blood pressure? Do you think with what you do, you have blood pressure?
No, I don't really think anything actually gets to me.
Well, maybe not. I think maybe you're numb to it. Yeah, Mr. B, yuck, I repeat, yuck. But hey, it's good for your health and you have to do that. You know, I keep saying, you men folk are terrible because you guys never stretch. And I did a couple of stretches today and I was laughing because there's a young guy at the gym. It's my daughter's, my friend's son. And he's training to be a fireman. And this guy, he's built really big, like most guys are. They're built, okay? But you guys never stretch. So you have your bulk muscle, but you don't have long, lean muscle mass. So when you go to reach for something you can't extend, you got to like arch over and you go down. You can't. So I'm like, you need to stretch and you need cardio. And we were doing some stretching and then we did a plank challenge. Now get this. This dude is only, how old is he? He's 19 and I'm 50 something. And we were doing a plank challenge and we were timing it. And I'm like, dude, let's do some cardio planks. So I'm telling you, D-Dog, this girl, he was doing it. We were just doing single taps. Okay, we're in plank position. We did single taps and then we were going down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. And he was like 50 seconds in. And he goes, I give up. And he collapsed. And here this old lady's going and I'm going at it and I'm saying cardio is necessary. Stretching is necessary because he was cramped up. He's like, well, I'm a heavy. I got a lot of bulk muscle. I'm like, dude, you're 19 years old. If you can't beat a 50 or something doing plank, something's wrong. So my point is, you guys need to stretch and you need to have cardio.
I don't need cardio. I can just hire a neighborhood kid to run around my property and I'll feel better.
Oh my God, men are just so stubborn. They're so stubborn, and it never fails every time. I don't care if they're young. I don't care if they're middle-aged. You can be so bulky and you're so strong, and guys are just so powerful, but you tell them, let's do some cardio, and they about collapse. They start whining like they're sick. That's what men do. They whine when they're sick.
Well, okay, I could sit and do cardio, or I could just cut my grass, and instead of using a yard broom, I can rake it up.
There you go. Do you,
If I'm doing cardio, it has to be productive. I'm not going to stand somewhere looking at a damn mirror doing cardio. That's just stupid.
You don't have to do that. Run around your property a few times. Or you get a lawnmower that's a push mower that's not automatic, that pulls you along, or not a riding lawnmower, because that's what I do. When I mow the lawn, it's just regular push mower or landscaping. So I agree with you. Cardio is that as well. It is that as well.
Okay,
Says
Tammy, I got 10 acres. I'm not going to push mow 10 acres.
That might take a while. That's a lot of acreage.
Crackhead.
That might be bad. That might be bad, D-Dog. Oh my God.
That would probably kill me. Well,
yeah,
hey, maybe I'll get a push mower. That'll work.
Well, how about you push an acre and then you get a riding lawnmower for the other 9? That's not so bad.
Another riding lawnmower? I already got 4 on the property.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot. That's a bit excessive. What do you need 4 for?
Whenever one breaks down, when I'm waiting for it to get fixed, I get another one.
Are you impatient?
And that one just gets parked at one of the gardens, and the kids drive it all over the yard. So whatever.
Are you impatient? Are you saying, D-Dog, you have no patience?
Well, okay. My oldest daughter came to me last week and says, Dad, can I borrow your rototiller? Because mine doesn't want to start. I go,
Yeah.
oh, so the one that you borrowed 4 years ago doesn't start. So you're going to borrow another one. Okay, I get it. So I loaded it in her back of her truck. And then I went to the store and I bought me another one because I know I'm never going to see that son of a bitch again.
Right. 2 down. 2 for the daughter, 0 for D-Dog.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Those things are amazing. Professor Falcon said he doesn't have landscaping people. He does his own and he's 65. I'm telling you, that's a good way to stay in shape. There's a guy across the street that takes care of the lawn here. And it's not that it's big, but he's 75 years old and he is fit as a fiddle, you guys. And he is a happy camper. That's what he does. He's retired, but he still does yard work and stuff, and he always has. And he's just so fit and healthy, and it's great. He loves it. And I'm for that. You don't have to do it as fast as you did when you were younger. You can take your time and, do the edging or trim back the bushes. And I actually, Harvest Mary Moon says one of the grass cutter like in the 50s. I think that's the only blade and wheels. I remember those. Yeah, just kind of had the 2 wheels and the blades that were just not even automatic. That would just go right. But what I was going to say is the other night, afternoon, actually, I was in my backyard. And so let's get your opinion on this. So I have the neighbors we have all these trees, right? And we have a fence up. I don't have many trees in my yard other than the pine trees. So they have these ones with leaves and stuff, and everything blows off. They have these ones that flower, and they get these white little like seeds on them that just kind of fall off. Well, my pool's right there. So it's not a fancy pool. I'm not high maintenance, you guys, but I do love my pool. And everything falls in it and all the debris. So I was out in my backyard and I grabbed a saw. It was a husky saw, and I was out there sawing away. And I'm like, you know what? Some of these apple trees out back that are coming over, they dumped apples in our yard for years, but the branches were dead. And then I'm trying to mow the lawn, or my husband, and the branches hit you in the head. You got to like dodge these branches. So I went along our whole property line and back, and I started sawing the heck out of everything. And my husband comes out there and he's like, did you stay on our side? And I'm like, yep. And I gave him the look like, don't even say a word. This has been years. I'm tired of it. And so he went back in the house. But I saw the bejesus out of everything. And I'll tell you what, I felt good after that because it's nice and clear. But my point is, and what I wanted to ask you is, he said you should always ask before you do it, even though it's within your rights to do it. And I'm like, no, you should beg for forgiveness after. If it's on your property, you cut it, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like, hoo-ha, I'm out there. And I actually was on a ladder and I'm like, whatever you do, Tammy, don't look down. Cause I'm very klutzy and I don't like heights. So I was up there and I'm just using the saw and I'm going at it. And I'm telling you, it was great. It felt very good. And I felt very manly out there sawing down these branches and taking control of the debris that was falling in my yard. Because I feel like, if the neighbors were considerate, 6-8 feet of growth, they would have taken care of it, right? If they cared. Then they're not taking care of it. So why can't I? Right?
You can.
Yep, I can. If it hangs over the property line, cut it. Yes. Oh, what's next? That must be Cam Lamb. Is that Cam?
Yep.
Yes. That's what I always say.
There you go, Tammy. Beef stew.
Why does it look like that, D-Dog? Do you have to heat it up for it to look yummy?
Well, you have to add a little bit of flour to thicken up the gravy.
Wait, let me see it. Are those pieces of meat in the broth?
Yeah, piece of meat.
Oh, carrots?
Beef broth, carrots, taters.
I thought you were joking with me at first. I'm like, oh, no way, Jose. But that looks really good. I'm impressed. I didn't even know you could can stew. Damn. D-Dog, you need to have D-Dog's canning goods for sale.
No.
No. Why not? You don't like doing it?
Well, okay. My whole family, including my baby sister's family, is 20 people. And they don't go to the store for produce.
Okay.
And I have a good buddy of mine down around Stockbridge, and all he does is beef farming, but they just open field eat. You know, he doesn't get them hay, doesn't give them any of that other garbage.
He lets them free range, whatever's there.
Right. Well, he's got 140 acres, and he only keeps like 200 head around.
Wow. Yeah, nice.
So when they start eating down one field, he just moves them to a different field.
Very good. Very good. Oh, sorry. My daughter's
Damn
calling
phone.
me. I know my daughter's calling me. She doesn't even know. I mean, she's in the house. Like, what is she doing? I have to put it on mute. I didn't put a note up that I was live, so she probably had no idea. She's probably, you know what she's doing? I know what it is. She's making homemade chocolate chip cookies with M&Ms. And I'm like, that's exactly what I need after a good workout today. Give me some of the junk food. But I remember, when we grew up, I was up in North Branch in Emily City, North Emily City. You know where North Branch is at in Michigan there?
Yep.
Well, they have dairy farmers. We had a dairy farmer across the street and then a beef farmer on the side of us. And we had 6 acres. And it was really great because in the summertime, that smell was amazing. That smell that comes across the fields with barns and with animals. And I don't know if people, you start smelling like a barn. When you go outside, you smell like you've been in a barn full of doo-doo all day long. But
yeah, well, I just call that some good shit.
It so is. But I remember getting used to that. It was so disgusting. And then I don't know if people realize this, but cows, when they say it's a cow pie, it's a cow pie. I remember running through the fields barefoot. And when you step in a cow pie, you guys, it's like this big. When you're a kid, those feet, and this is the thing. If it's fresh, it's green and mushy, and you sink right a couple inches to the bottom, it'll cover the top of your feet. Now, if the sun's baked it a few, that top is like a brown little crisp, and then you break down through that into the green. But there's nothing.
Either way, it squishes through your toes.
It's so disgusting. It is the most disgusting thing that there is. It's amazing. But I loved being around the animals and stuff like that. I always say that everybody needs to be around animals or a farm sometime in their lives. We had horses, we had some ducks, and we had some our little chicks, and we had these two geese. These, I don't know, my mom, for some reason, people love to drop animals off. When you're in the country like that, people, when they move or whatever, just they're like, okay, take it to so and so's house, and they just adopt all these animals. And there were these geese, and I don't even know what kind they were, but these things were so mean. There were two of them, and they were probably, since I was about sixth grade, they were up to my chest. And my brother and I, when we go outside, they would come barreling after us to bite and twist at us. I don't know if they were property protective or what, but we used to be terrified of those things because they were big, and they would come, and they don't just bite you, they bite and they twist. It hurts like a mother trucker. So my mom ended up having to get rid of them because those things used to terrify us and torment us and chase us down all the time. So not every farm animal you may get is going to be friendly. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but they're going to be tasty.
Maybe that's what they did. Maybe they gave them up and I didn't know it, and cooked them and I just didn't know it. And it was some kind of duck stew my mom made, and I had no idea that's what it was. Professor Falcon, my neighbors have fruit trees. I harvest first, then cut. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That's what I'm excited about, is to try to get some fruit trees down here and grow some stuff too, because there's nothing like that. I mean, in Michigan, your season is way shorter than it is down here. I've learned that, and the fruit down here, we get fruit, I mean, all year long. And there's only like a couple months that it's not that good in the stores, that, it's imported. But I'm telling you, for the most part, all the fruit down here is amazing compared to what I see in Michigan, other than if you probably get it from farmers and stuff. But I'm telling you, there's nothing like the fresh fruit down here all the time. It's amazing. I do miss the apple orchards up there, though, D-Dog. Down here, you can go to northern Georgia, but for like Franklin Mills orchard there and Yates Cider Mill. You've probably been to those, right, Yates? Where they have that creek and stuff. Go there all the time. They had the donuts, the hot donuts and cider. It was a good time. And, you just go and get fresh baked apple pies and all that stuff all the time. I miss that kind of stuff. I'm like, I come down here and I'm like, what? There's no apple orchards or anything. I'm not traveling all the way to North Georgia to get those, but it is a fun time, that kind of stuff. I miss it. And the hay rides and all that kind of stuff. They don't have a lot of that down here. And I'm surprised. For peaches being a big deal, it's hard for me to find peaches. I have to travel actually quite a ways from where I'm at to get Georgia peaches. It makes no sense to me. In the stores, they don't even have Georgia peaches. They'll have them from California and other places. Like, what kind of craziness is that? You should have fresh Georgia peaches down here. But anyways, as you get older, I guess you learn to appreciate the different foods, right?
Yep.
That's part of it. And if you don't have aches and pains, you can appreciate that as well. Sleep becomes a good thing. All that fun stuff. Anyhow. So I put the link down. I guess Camalam didn't want to come up, or Mr. B. That's okay. Be that way. They just want to make their fancy little comments in chat and not come up on panel. On panel's a bit intimidating, I think.
Oh,
But
yeah,
not for you.
terribly.
Especially when you're professional like we are. I mean, we're so intimidating with all our knowledge, aren't we? Mr. B says, I'm being lazy tonight. LOL. I know Shane doesn't go on Monday nights, does he? Didn't he get a new schedule?
Yeah, I don't know. I just pay attention to when I see live on somebody's thing.
So do you actually get my notifications? Because I have some people still texting me saying they don't get my notifications. I'm like, I'm
I
so
don't know.
small. You don't know?
I don't know. I'm at my computer all the time.
Don't you get a sore butt? You need to stand. See, you need to stand up and stretch.
I was out in the garden for half the day.
Well, that's good. Was it? You know what? Actually, I think it was nicer in Michigan than it was here in Georgia today.
Yeah,
The weather
today
was
was a
better.
t-shirt day.
Nice. Yeah, because we had a lot of rain and storms and stuff again today, and then it cleared up a little bit. But we've been having mood swings here with Mother Nature the last couple of days. I don't know what it is. I didn't get one just seeing you were live. See, Mr. B, I don't have any idea. I don't understand that either because I'm such new at this. I mean, a new channel, it's small. So you would think that people would get notifications. And another thing I don't get is like the bigger channels. I can see if you don't get notifications if they're trying to censor them. But I have to find out, D-Dog, and I don't know if you know or not, but some of these, there's some really big channels out there that have 1 million viewers or, or whatever. They never get taken down. And they talk about worse stuff than we do and play videos and everything, and they never get taken down. Sensitive subjects and everything else. Or a good example is the Soft White Underbelly, that channel where they talk, about meth addicts and they interview prostitutes and all that stuff. We have to watch all these words, which I just didn't, but and they never get taken down, and I don't understand how that works. Do you have any idea?
Well, maybe they're not pissing off the right people. Because
Well,
they're probably not getting too far into the politics. They're just probably getting into human suffering.
yeah, well, the one time I got taken down, D-Dog, the one time when I was on the other channel, it was a show on forgiveness. So how can I get taken down and fined or penalized for a show on forgiveness? I just think that it's really crazy. I don't understand it. I'm trying to behave, but still put good stuff out there here and there. But like I said, being new, I take a lot of them down. This one I won't take down. I'll see. But I really want to know how they get away with it. Like, maybe they're making YouTube a lot of money or something. So maybe they went under the radar. And then, once the YouTube discovered them, they're making them so much money. They're like, we're just going to keep them up there. Who cares?
Yeah, the larger channels, if they have a lot of people hitting the donation button, because YouTube rapes it for 30% or more.
Yeah. So maybe that has
they're not going to
something.
give up their cash cow.
Well, that's a good point. It's just a matter of getting to that point, though. Like, I mean, you have to worry about it every step of the way, and you talk like a foreign language. I can't stand that, using those code words anymore, or doing this. Everybody who got the jabberdoodle, it's ridiculous. It's like, that's what I call it, the jabberdoodle, because I don't think that triggers anything or anyone as of this point or whatever. So it's pretty good.
I think the first time I heard jabberdoodle, that was on JW Survival or something like that.
Did they say it?
All the time, the jabberdoodle.
Well, I've heard of those people, but I've never watched them, so I don't know. Yeah. And I didn't know that either, Mr. B. I didn't know you had to schedule a show 45 minutes to an hour before you go live for notifications to go out. I don't really care. A lot of people see mine after the fact. It's okay. It is what it is. I mean,
I got the notification.
Yeah. Mr. B, maybe unsubscribe and resubscribe. Maybe that's what you need to do. I don't know. So, do you have any thoughts about tomorrow, D-Dog?
I'm gonna reach way down deep and come out with total honesty about not caring.
Okay, so my question is,
the only part of it that I care about is if they're going after him this hard, that just shows that they can do that to any American that they're not happy with.
Thank you. And that's the point I tried to get across, and I try to get across. It's not just about him, it's the precedent they're setting. And that's what I care about too. Even though I don't understand it, obviously the way that you do, doesn't mean I'm not going to try to understand it and try to pay attention and be warned and try to, make changes that I can change. And that's why I'm paying attention to it, because you know, all this stuff has come out as we know about the other people and the stuff that they've done, or the paper trail that they have left, the stuff that came out on Twitter with Hunter and all that, and nothing's being done. And you know, people say, well, you know, look over here, not over there. Well, that's not good enough to me. I want to know why it's happening the way it's happening. And once you understand why, then you know what to do to make the changes that need to be changed, right? To make a
Right.
difference.
And everything is allegedly did because no one's got a conviction yet.
That's right. Oh, allegedly. See, he just taught me. Say allegedly, Tammy, because it is true, even though it's on there and all that. Yes. Yes. You'll keep us straight on that.
Well,
Mr.
allegedly, but you believe it's true. Not it's true. You believe it's true.
I believe it's true. Yes. From the evidence that I've seen, right? The evidence. So if I say this, okay, all the evidence that I have seen, it's allegedly true to me. Wait, it's allegedly, but it's what I believe from the evidence I've seen. Gosh, see, I got to remember those words. I got to remember those words.
Well, everything is verbiage.
Yes. Yes. And that's what you teach. And that's what I love about listening to you, or the different things that you cover, or when I study different things. Obviously, you slip up and stuff. You've been doing it how many years now? What you've been
Too
doing?
many.
He's not going to say. It's
Well,
everybody.
like if you're talking to one of your elected servants and you tell them that you want or you demand, they can ignore you. But if
Okay.
you require or state it as a must, then they have to do it.
See, people don't know that. I didn't know that. And I think it's no different than when you have a conversation with somebody, the way you word it, whether it's a spouse, a friend, an acquaintance, a boss, whatever. Verbiage is everything. The way that you say things matters, and the way you look, your inflection, everything. So I think it does people good to be tempered in how they say things, definitely, especially if you're hot-tempered, male or female. You can get heated up and say things you wish you wouldn't say. And it doesn't take much to trigger people. When you start, and I'll say it, when you start going to some of these meetings and you find out the things that are going on and what's being done or not done, what's being covered up, who's tied to who, believe me, your blood can start boiling real fast, because you're like, are you kidding me? And the people that have been fighting this for a long time, like some of the people that I'm around, they've been doing stuff for many, many years. I'm the newbie on the block here. And you know, they know how to, like you, temper themselves. This is nothing new to them. They know how to pace themselves. Or somebody like me comes in like, are you kidding me? Let's just fix this now, without having full understanding. But you know, it's just disgusting, because I see a lot of these people, D-Dog, in these meetings, and they're older, even older than me or you, and they've been fighting it for a long time, and they're just tired. And that's why I say it's great to get the younger generation in. If we can find a younger generation, and that's what they say they need, to care and not be so-called woke, or so-called you know, caring about how their nails look, or if they have the right kind of eyelashes on. I just don't see how.
When I started going to the school board, they didn't even do the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of it. And then I showed them the two public laws, and I put a claim against them for not doing that for a public gathering.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then all of a sudden they decided they were going to start doing the Pledge of Allegiance. So I got on the roster to talk and everything else. And I grabbed a pastor from a church that a friend of mine goes to, and I had him show up. And he started with a prayer, because the next thing I was going to deal with was that. And they were citing the separation of church and state. I go, okay, what law is that? And they go, it's in the Constitution. They go, show me, I'll suck your dick. And they can't show me because it's not in there. And
It's
then
not in there.
I went through and I showed them everything about it, going all the way back to 1100 Charter of Liberties. I showed them all the documentation and everything else. And that was what, 12, 15 years ago. I didn't even have kids. Well, the kids were pretty young in school.
Uh-huh.
But when I started, I didn't have any kids in school then. And it's progressed to the point where every classroom's got a Bible. if the teacher doesn't like the Bible in their classroom, they're allowed to put it in a drawer, but you have to notify the class on where it is.
Nice. Nice. That's that's the way it should be. I'm telling you, I know that you're doing a lot and the people that you know obviously do a lot, but that needs to spread down here as well. Maybe I need to partake in stuff like that, you know? Like I said before, me doing these meetings and stuff, getting an education is one thing, but DDoS is draining. It is draining and it's hard for me to follow and understand. It's like some of these people move so fast and there's all these different hierarchies and levels of different rules and how you can approach different things. I know for one meeting I was going to go to, there was these list of rules that you had to approach anybody. You had to follow these rules because if you don't follow these rules, they're not going to acknowledge you. And I'm like, holy cow. And it's not that it's bad. It's just, I don't know if that's my forte because not everything can be everybody's forte. I always say you have to have a passion for what you do. Otherwise you're going to stink at it. You're going to suck at it or it's going to be half-assed. And that's not what I want. But something like what you're talking about with the Bibles and all that, because they're taken out of a lot of the hotels and everything now. I have a friend who manages a hotel here and they told them to take them all out. They want no part of them and they donated them. And I'm like, why would they do that? Why would they take Bibles out of hotels? I mean, that's been a staple and a standard since I've been born. You know what I mean? So I kind of like what you're saying there about that. I never heard you talk about that before.
Well, the main reason that a lot of the places kept the Bibles in them so long, the hotels, motels, inns, is because it was a free book that they could leave in there because it was a donation from a different group.
Well, I think that probably helped a lot of people being in the hotels because, we know what can happen where people go sometimes if they want to unalive themselves and stuff, or if they pull the drawer open and they see that, maybe that would help save them and maybe make a different choice or something. I just think that's one extra thing that if people knows that's in there one last minute, maybe will help them change their mind to make a better choice than what they would if it wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? On many different levels. I just think that it does no harm being in there. It can only help. So that again tells me some of these people, they don't really care. They don't really want people to be well. Some people just, they don't care. So I don't know, but I guess that's a conversation for another time. But I'm almost an hour. I'm an hour in and stuff. So I think I'm going to wrap it up because I have other stuff to do before work in the morning. But I appreciate you coming up and saying hi and not just flipping me off and doing all kinds of crazy stuff to me. Calling me names when I'm not around, or I might be in chat and calling me names. So it's good to meet face to face and settle that.
I don't call anyone really names. I make fun of YouTube channels and switch some words up, like search for a tooth.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't go there.
Just stupid fake people I like kicking on.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding you. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks, D-Dog, for joining me, like I said, once again. And then, Humboldt's in here now. Baby Shark song. I don't know what that is either. I guess that's something I missed between you and D, huh?
Well, Dee told me that's her favorite song of all times. That and Going on a Bear Hunt and the Wheels on the Bus Going Round and Round.
Round and oh gosh, Dee's gonna have to join us sometime and explain that to me here because I missed the loop on that one. The Wheels on the Bus.
It's fine. If Dee ever meets me, she'll probably kill me now that I said that out loud.
Oh no. Oh no, you're in trouble with Dee now. That's hilarious. All right, okay. Well, I'm going to hop on down and out of here. So have a good night, D-Dog, and I'll talk to everybody soon. Take care, you guys. Bye. See you tomorrow.